But one last thing, I'm going to make, it might take me a few weeks, a playlist of every single fucking receipt I have on everything about Gypsy, because I want y'all to watch it. And over time, once y'all let the
Gypsy-Rose may be claiming she's done with social media, pretending to step away from the spotlight, but behind the scenes, it looks like she's working overtime to shift the narrative and prepare for a dramatic comeback. Call it damage control or a masterclass in PR strategy, but one thing's clear: Gypsy seems determined to rebuild public favor after the wave of backlash she's faced. And guess what? There's already evidence pointing to how she might be pulling this off. Let's dive into the latest twist in this ongoing saga. Recently, a major YouTuber and content creator, Swoop, released a video about Gypsy. The video has racked up over 400,000 views so far, and while it appears to be a well-produced piece, some viewers are convinced there's more to it than meets the eye. Could Gypsy be quietly orchestrating this narrative shift through Swoop's video? It's certainly possible, and here's why people are raising their eyebrows. First, Swoop herself left a comment under her video that has everyone buzzing. She revealed that a production company recently reached out to use parts of her video in an upcoming documentary featuring Gypsy-Rose herself. Coincidence? Maybe. But for someone like Gypsy, who has a history of controlling how her story is told, it's hard not to wonder if this is all part of a calculated plan. While the video has sparked widespread discussion, not all the feedback has been glowing. On Facebook and YouTube, viewers have been dissecting it, and the critiques are scathing. One commenter noted, "I watched it and didn't like how she kept saying Dee had Munchausen by proxy. Hasn't she seen all the evidence showing they couldn't diagnose her after she passed?" Others chimed in, agreeing that the video seemed biased or under-researched, with one frustrated viewer saying it felt like Swoop was trying not to come down too hard on Gypsy, but still didn't want to fully support her. The whole tone was disappointing. Also, in our bonus episode, we acknowledged that Gypsy scarred the audience so deeply that she went unnoticed and fell off of it. Gypsy was truly her dream. First police officer in Greene County even said Gypsy got off way too easy.
receipts that I show y'all sink into your small brains, and it finally clicks, and you go, wow, I've been tormenting, invalidating, attacking, harassing this woman.
Beyond a tone, viewers are also pointing out factual inaccuracies. Some claim Swoop didn't do enough research, with one commenter calling her out for failing to address key details about Gypsy's medical history. A Facebook post even shared specifics, pointing out discrepancies in Gypsy's claims. For instance, while Gypsy has repeatedly stated she underwent over 30 surgeries, her medical records allegedly show only 4 procedures, 3 related to her eyes and 1 biopsy. Critics argue that this lack of depth in the video plays right into Gypsy's hands, helping to perpetuate a version of her story that skews in her favor. And then there's the timing. The fact that this video is now tied to a future documentary featuring Gypsy feels almost too convenient. Gypsy's departure from social media could very well be a smokescreen while she works behind the scenes to reposition herself in the public eye. Whether it's through documentaries, content creators, or carefully leaked information, it seems like she's gearing up for a rebrand. But let's not forget, Gypsy has always been a master at controlling the narrative, from the way she framed her exit from social media as a mental health break, to the way she uses drama to deflect criticism. She knows exactly how to keep people talking. The question is, are people finally starting to see through it? Boom, boom, boom! So loves, what do you think? Is Gypsy pulling strings behind the scenes to shape public opinion, or is this all just speculation? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into stories like this one. Until next time, bye. Gypsy-Rose is at it again, or at least that's what it seems like. While she's publicly playing the part of someone stepping away from social media and taking a break from the spotlight, Behind the scenes, it feels like she's working overtime to spin the narrative in her favor before her inevitable return. Let's be honest, this isn't just someone fading into the background for self-care, it's a meticulously crafted effort to sway public opinion and shift the tides back in her favor. And the evidence is stacking up.
Who's gone through so fucking much I could never even imagine. I hope that y'all sit there and feel like complete shit for how you treated this woman. You may not ever admit it, but some of you will.
Here's where it gets interesting. Swoop, a highly popular YouTuber, recently dropped a video about gypsy-rose that's garnered over 400 views. On the surface, it seems like just another deep dive into Gypsy's story, but when you look closer, you'll start to see the subtle ways this video could actually be working in Gypsy's favor. For starters, Swoop herself revealed in the comments that a production company reached out to include her work in an upcoming documentary featuring gypsy-rose. Yep, you heard that right. Gypsy herself will be in the documentary. And suddenly, Swoop's video feels less like an independent critique and more like a carefully coordinated move. Now, here's the kicker. Some viewers believe the video's tone was intentionally softened because it's tied to this documentary. Why? Because Gypsy simply can't have anything overtly negative about her included in a project she's part of. This brings us to a fascinating theory. Gypsy might be using creators like Swoop, who have huge audiences, to subtly influence public opinion. Instead of taking the direct route of telling her story, Gypsy seems to be leaning on big creators to reframe her narrative. But why would Gypsy go this route? The answer might lie in how creators have shifted public perception about her over time. A lot of creators did extensive research on her case and presented perspectives that made people question Gypsy's innocence or challenge her victim narrative. Now, it looks like Gypsy is fighting fire with fire by leveraging the reach and influence of larger creators like Swoop to gently nudge the narrative back in her direction. And this isn't just about one video. On TikTok, Gypsy herself previously claimed that cyberbullying often causes people to change their opinions based on rumors spread online. It's ironic then that she seems to be using a similar tactic, creators with large followings, to spread a more favorable narrative about her. But it doesn't stop there. Gypsy isn't just trying to sway public opinion, she's also allegedly trying to silence creators who criticize her.
Be in that exact position one day, and I just dream about it. I might not ever get to know about it, but I sure do dream about it, and it makes me happy.
Radiant Brit, another creator, recently shared a comment from a viewer saying they're planning to launch a campaign to ban content creators who make critical videos about individuals like Gypsy. The commenter even went as far as accusing creators of bullying and spreading misinformation. What's more, there's now a petition floating around titled "Demand Stricter Regulations for Social Media Algorithms in Combating Harassment," which seems to align with the goal of silencing critics. The petition claims that creators are engaging in harassment and bullying, but as Britt pointed out, if these videos were truly violating community guidelines, platforms like YouTube would have taken them down already. The fact that they remain up indicates that they're simply commentary, not harassment. And of course, Gypsy's loyal best friend Bree is in on the action too. Bree recently announced plans for a TikTok series dedicated to showcasing what a sweet and amazing person Gypsy is, even going as far as saying she hopes people will feel guilty for how they've treated her. It's all part of the same effort to reshape public perception, with Bree playing her role as Gypsy's staunchest defender. But Gypsy isn't just relying on others. She's also hard at work herself, with a new book on the horizon that will undoubtedly attempt to garner sympathy and make people understand her pain. Add to that the upcoming documentary, and it seems like Gypsy is once again preparing to flood the media landscape with her story. This begs the question, how many times does Gypsy need to retell her story? She's already had multiple documentaries, TV shows, and books. Even her ex Ken called her out back in 2019, saying, "Honestly speaking, Has this story not been told 1,000 times already? It's played out, it's done. Give it a rest. And honestly, he might have a point. At what point does retelling her story become less about awareness and more about control? It's a lot to unpack, but the bigger picture here seems to be clear. Gypsy is working behind the scenes to regain control of the narrative. Whether it's through leveraging creators like Swoop, silencing critics, or putting out her own content, the goal is the same: to win back public sympathy and solidify her version of events. And there you have it, loves. gypsy-rose's story continues to unravel, and whether you see her as a master manipulator or someone fighting to rewrite her legacy, one thing is clear: she's not fading into the background anytime soon. From TikToks and documentaries to petitions and loyal defenders, it seems like Gypsy is carefully crafting her next chapter while trying to silence those who don't align with her narrative. What do you think about all of this? Are her actions justifiable, or does it all feel a little too calculated? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my updates. Stay curious, stay kind, and as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.